Good morning, everybody. Daniel Wanda back from Pecan Grove. We in the cooler. It is cold in here. See that temperature right there?
32.
32 degrees
33
in
now.
Well, we were 32.
Now 34.
Okay, our body temperature must be warming it up. But you saw the temperature. It's cold in here. Okay, I can't handle this whole thing by myself and get it in the prepper shack and all that back over yonder. Plus, it won't fit over a garbage bag to take it back because it's done got this. It's like hard. So, what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to cut the front section of this off. So, I'm gonna have to get down here and I'm gonna try to explain to you the best way to do it and not lay it on a table. What you want to do the ribs. You want to count the ribs like 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, you want to go between the 4th and the 5th rib right here. Just take your knife and make you a mark right there. Come across right here. Now, you can go between the 3rd and the 4th, but what happens is you get a piece of the shoulder blade, the cartilage part of the shoulder blade up in there with it when you do it. So I've opted now to just do between the 3rd and the 4th here. I usually take my knife and just go ahead and cut between it. And then I take, let's see if I can get this here. I'm going to have to get down here on the floor. Usually I would take my big handsaw, but I don't have that in here. So I'm going to have to try to do this with a Sawzall. I got a stainless steel blade on it.
Quicker.
And this is going to drop. And so I'm going to try to be careful. When you get past the bone, stop with the Sawzall. You see my pan out, that's what's falling in my pan. I'm going to try to cut this.
Do I need to try to help?
I'm just going to let it's just going to fall in the pan. Like that. Okay, because that's about 40 pounds right there.
The bacon right there, ain't it?
That's the bacon and the hind quarter and the loin. That's what we got left on here. This is the front shoulder right here.
So
we're going to take this out to the truck. We're going to come back. We're going to slide a garbage bag over this. I'm going to try to get Miss Wanda to help me unhook it, and we're going to go lay it in the back of the truck.
we're only doing 1/2 today.
1/2 at a time. Okay, I might have been a little bit wrong about that. This thing may be closer to 50 pounds. Look at the end of that.
That's some pork chops.
No, that's not your pork chop.
What is that?
This is your Boston butt and your picnic roast.
Ah, it looks like a pork chop. The other side is the pork chops.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to see if this will work. So we don't get it bad shape going back. Move that hook out the way.
All right, you got
it. Ooh, unit kicking on here.
All right, so don't stumble over something.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, it's out.
This baby is heavy. Lord have mercy. Good gracious. That's a big old piece of meat there, boys. Goodness gracious alive.
That's a lot of weight right there.
That's a lot of weight right there. Man, is that a lot of weight. Look at this. Beautiful.
That right there's got to be 30, 40 pounds.
Oh my goodness. I built the table for this purpose. Okay. There we go. All right.
1/2.
Oh my goodness.
1/2.
1/2 of a pig. They weigh almost 400 pounds. Okay. We don't need this in the way.
So you figure this half weighs a good 100, 125 pounds?
Well, the time we got through skinning it and everything, I would say this probably weighs 150 to 175, somewhere in that area. This is pretty massive.
Look at that bacon. You did get some of the bacon. Ooh, look at there, Pawpaw.
Well, it is what it is.
I told you, you should have took that bacon off first.
I tried to stay away from that shoulder blade right there. That the cartilage on it is right here. Well, as a matter of fact,
and you can see it.
There's the edge of the shoulder blade right there. That cartilage did get in here a little bit. But it's such a fine amount right there that it's not
Look
hardly
what the
any.
bacon's gonna look like.
There'll be a couple of knives here. I'll be mainly using my big knife here, I don't know if you call that an 8 or 10 inch. This is the knife I'll be doing most of this big cutting with here, guys. I love this big knife because it reaches through everything here. Okay, first thing we want to do is we want to get rid of the leaf lard. The leaf lard lays up inside the chest cavity here, and it is, boy, it's in there good too. We're gonna try to see if I'll try not to get into the tenderloin. Sometimes that stuff just pull out of there. That's what it's supposed to do, is pull out. This is your, I call it your pastry making lard. Let me get it to come loose here. Get out of that. Oh, this is stuck. Easy to just strip it all out of there. Oh, I don't want none of this in the leaf lard. So we're gonna have one pan for that. That pulled out there. Come on. Boy. Now my hands is all
Cold and sticky.
cold and sticky. I want to trim this out of that leaf lard there. Ah, it's good stuff to make your pastry stuff out of. I'll get Ms. Wanda to, or I will, I'll just sit here and do it right quick. We'll go ahead and trim that out of there. Ooh, boy. Talk about
That can go in there.
going to sausage.
Yeah.
We'll be making some cracklings out of that. Heck yeah. We'll be making cracklings out of this stuff.
All right, you're gonna continue with the leaf lard.
Get a little bit more of it out of here.
And I'm gonna be cutting it in smaller pieces and bagging it so that we can make lard out of it.
Yeah.
In a future video in a week or two. Or
Yeah,
three.
we can't do it all today. It's just too overwhelming to do everything with just the two of us all day long, you know.
So leaf lard is a video in itself, and then lard from all the fat
Back.
Maybe some cracklings. I don't know. You didn't do anything for pig skins?
No, we don't. We didn't. We skint it. We didn't have the facility to be able to boil it down and all that kind of stuff. So scrape it, you know. So there won't be no
Pig
port
skin.
rinds.
Port rinds. That's what I'm looking for. Port rinds.
Yeah. Okay. Now that we have the leaf lard out of there, what I want to do now is you want to come back here, and you can see how this muscle runs right along the edge of right here. You just want to take your knife and just want to like run it right in there and get started. I'm trying to work with the camera, guys. Normally I just do this fast, but I'm trying to do it for you guys to be able to see. This will actually fold right out of your way right here. Now, let me get this down a little bit further right here. There we go. Now, I'm gonna fold that kind of back over out of your way right here. Now, there's also a section right here. Now, I'm gonna take this section and I'm going to also cut right along the edge of that. This is mostly just fat.
Make some good lard.
Oh yeah, well, it's gonna be some of your bacon probably later on, but.
True.
Now the tenderloin, let me say this, the tenderloin lies right here. Let me see if I can clean this up a little bit up in here.
Yep. You're jumping.
Huh? I want to show people, there's a couple of things I want to show you. there's a gland that lays right here. Try to cut that out right there. You want to try to cut out as many glands as you can. Lies right there under the edge of that. I don't know if it's kind of hard to see it, but you can tell. See that gland right there? There's glands right here. Here, all this. That's what makes your meat have a bad taste to it. So we don't want that in there. But now this is a tenderloin. Here, if I can get it where you can see it. After cutting that with a Sawzall, it left a bunch of little scrapped up stuff there. Tenderloin lies from right up in here. This is it, lies right up along up in here. If you want the tenderloin now, you can take that out. This would be the time to take it out if you want it to be separate. I'm not going to separate it out, so I'm not going to really worry with it. So we're going to put this back. We're going to fold this back up over here. We'll cut that all the way to the tip of that tenderloin right there is what you're looking for right there. Now, get some feeling back in my hand here. There is I'm going to try to bend this around a little bit more right there. If I can cut this just a little bit more here. We keep that out of our way right here. Now there is a what's called an H-bone right here. What you want to do is, this is where your tail was at right here on the pig. I'm just going to kind of make a mark with a knife. You kind of want to, you don't want to go like this, and you don't want to go like this too sharp, but you want to kind of go from where that tailbone is to this H-bone right through here. And you kind of want to just cut that like right off. I'm going to try to make a mark with the knife so you guys can see it. You kind of want to just come right on down through here. Right there. That's kind of the angle that you want to cut at. Now I have a handsaw, but I'm going to try to do this with a Sawzall. And for me to use a handsaw is kind of hard for me. I'm just going to take my time, go slow. You only want to cut till you get through the bone. You don't want to be...
and that's a special blade that you bought just for meat.
Yes, that's a stainless steel meat cutting blade, or bone cutting blade I bought specifically for that. Now I left this hanging off the edge of the table. Miss Wanda kept saying, take it up on the table. I was like, no. You can push down like this, and you can take your knife, and you can just go through there like this right here.
And cut the rest of it.
That.
Lord, what a ham. And
I'm going to slide this back up here now. Okay. This is your ham. I want you to, guys, this is
Henry
probably
the 8th I am.
Yeah, this is probably about a 30 or 40 pound ham right here.
Henry the 8th I am.
Yeah. When you cut your hind quarter off, that's how you know if you cut it right. It will stand up on its end like that. Okay, the next cut we're going to make is this being your tenderloin laying right in here. We're going to come right along the edge of this tenderloin here when we cut. And we're going to cut all the way out to right here. And what we're going to do when you come up here, the rule of thumb is to take 2 fingers right here and you mark it right there. And what we're going to do is we're going to come from here, we're going to come a straight line all the way through here to right where that mark is right there. Straight line through there. That's what we're shooting for right there. Alright. Now, I'm going to try to do this with a Sawzall. I don't know how it's going to work. Because, let's just see here. If I can make this happen with this Sawzall right here. It should open up as I cut.
Go backwards some.
I'm trying not to cut the top of my table. Okay, let me see how close I am there.
Voila, 2 pieces.
All right. This right here is now our loin. Right here. All
That's
right.
a lot of pork chops.
Ain't that pretty?
See there? Woo-hoo. That is a lot of pork chops right there.
Ain't that pretty?
Now we get to the bacon, the good part.
Woo, yeah. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that just, that's just freaking beautiful. Man.
I'm waiting on the bacon.
You waiting on the bacon?
Yeah.
Okay. What we want to do is we want to take the rib cage out. Okay? I got a stool here, guys. I'm having to sit on and count my knee. The edge of the ribs is kind of, you kind of got to find them here. You kind of got to like make you a line across here. And you want to find the edge of those ribs. I'm trying to make sure I don't, trying to pull down on it a little bit where I can, the ribs will be kind of soft down in here. You don't want to cut too deep because you don't want to cut down into your bacon there. So I'm kind of like going right along here. I think I'm pretty close right there. I might be a little high, but let's see. Okay, what we're gonna do, guys, I have no feeling in my hands here this morning.
Yeah, don't cut them.
That's why I can't, I'm just trying to be very cautious here. I'm trying to, you want your knife just to ride. That's why I want a long blade knife. I didn't want no short knife for this. Trying to get that where I can peel it down. I guess I'll put it against me. You want your knife blade to just run. This meat is so cold, so.
That's good though. If it was hot, it would be harder to do.
It'd be a mess if it was hot.
You can't work with hot meat.
No, you cannot work with hot meat. And me trying to film makes it a little bit different too. Trying to, okay. We're about to get down to where I cut it at right there.
Oh, that pretty ribs. There it comes.
I'm getting there. Give me a moment.
Ah,
I just gotta get some feeling in my hands.
you gotta go run it through some hot water, hadn't you?
Yeah, I'll have to go get some warm water here in a minute. All right, let me come back. I didn't cut very deep here a while ago because I didn't want to cut into my bacon.
And that's your ribs if you want to have barbecued ribs.
This is your spare ribs. Okay, do a little trimming here. This all gonna go in.
Sausage.
It's all sausage stuff here.
Sausage, bacon, ribs, pork chops.
Trying to make it look a
ham.
little bit more, a little bit more presentable. Anyway, there you go. There's your ribs. Now what we'll do, I'll come right here and we'll just do right across right here. And that'll be 2 sections of ribs for us. Now, what you're looking at here now, this is your pork belly. Now, oh my goodness.
That's a long
I'm
pork
looking
belly.
at this thing, Miss Wanda, I'm gonna tell you something.
We need to weigh this and see how big a pork belly you
this
got
is
when
so-
you get through.
Alright, guys, y'all, we're gonna have to take a break for just a second. I gotta get some feeling. My hands, I can't even feel them. They're actually hurting. I'm gonna do a little bit of trimming right here, just a little bit, not much. Miss Wanda be slapping me in the head here.
That's some good bacon you trimming off there. It's gonna go into sausage though, ain't it?
Yep, it's all going in the sausage. Miss Wanda was using my knife while I'll go ahead and get on to her.
You don't like me using. Look at that, y'all.
Look at that. Oh my goodness. Okay, now down
We
here.
haven't had bacon in a while.
Yeah,
Just
let's see.
saying.
I'm gonna cut this off right here.
It's been months, except what I bought, and it wasn't
And it
good.
wasn't no good. Okay, here we go again. This is what you gotta look out for. I was gonna mention to y'all. When you're doing your fat, look out for these glands right there. You don't want that left in your fat. That makes it have a bad taste to it. Now I look around for it, like see here? There's another one laying up in that fat right up in there. You see how them glands are? Lots of people don't know about that. All right, we cut the rest of the gland out right here because it was on the other side of this. There's also a gland that lays up in the front shoulder too. There it is right there. I cut it out right there. All right, let's see here. All right, it goes all the way to right here. Okay.
Cut it straight.
Man, I'm just looking at that. That just breaks my heart. But
I know.
let me do this right here. That's just mostly fat.
There's a good hunk of meat in that.
There's a good little bit in there, but we still ain't to the bacon yet. I'm gonna take it in intervals here. Just wanted making sure I don't cut too much off.
No, we want
Okay.
as much bacon as we can get. We got 2 sides. One more side to go, but
I'm trying to get it down to where.
look at that.
Okay. Now look at that. There we go. Now we're gonna run down. I've already done this side, so I'm not worried about that side. This side here I got to trim up a little bit.
And this is gonna be some lard bacon. I mean lard cooking out.
It's just lard here.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's pure lard. All right, there's one of them, and I'm gonna turn this over.
You don't have to take this part off.
No, I leave all that on my bacon.
Okay.
Oh, I mean, now a lot of people, I'll say that she mentions that a lot of people will go ahead and cut this off right across here, and you know what? I think
Just go ahead and do it.
I'm going to go ahead because this is mainly we'll put this in with
Sausage.
sausage. Well, it's not like we're losing it, you know.
That way your bacon's more uniform.
Yeah. We'll render all that down. Look at that.
Now, we got the way to weigh it.
I have a way to weigh it, but hang on here a minute. Now we're going to turn this over because I like my bacon. It looks pretty good. It don't look bad. I was afraid it was going to look a little rough on this outside out here, but I think I think that it's going to be all right. Right here.
Using our bacon hangers.
I got one of my bacon hangers here. We want to check it.
Can you see?
We can get up there to it. Let me see if I can lean it over where you can see it. It is 10, 11, 12, looks like 12 or 13 pounds. No, it's about 12, 13 pounds. It's about right because the normal one of these weighs about 10 pounds that you get. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, that's pretty
That's
good. 'Cause
average.
when we cut our bacon, normally we do it in 5-pound sections.
2 5-pound
Two
sections.
5-pound sections. So this is roughly 11 or 12 pounds. So,
You'll make the smaller end a little bit
yeah.
like
So-
this is the thicker part. So
Okay,
it
here's
comes,
what we'll do right now. This is what we'll do.
comes.
Since we're not going to make the bacon right now, but I'm going to guess at this, and I'm going to say like right here.
And then you can weigh that one section. You'll know approximately how much it
Well,
is.
we're gonna do this. I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do here. I have another set of scales. There's your bacon.
Look at that, y'all. We've got 7 days of letting us sit and
And cure.
cure but we're not doing it yet. Come on, dude. Whoa, 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 whoa. It's bouncing, but it's there.
That's it. That's close enough for me. This ain't
Okay,
hard.
now.
I'm gonna thumb out of it.
6 pounds. If it was 12 pounds, you did it perfect on the
Okay.
6.
So this is 1.
Now we have these lugs that we got just for bacon.
Yeah, these are
What we got it for.
just from curing bacon in. Trying to keep from punching a hole with my fingers. Them things are sharp pointed. Okie dokie, here we go.
It just barely went over to 6. You missed it by 1/4 of an inch.
A 1/4 of an inch, an eighth of a 16th.
I mean, 1/4 of a pound.
A 16th or 1/8 of a pound.
How close is that?
That's pretty close, ain't it? So the other scales, let's just say, are accurate. I mean, they showed 12. I couldn't really see it. I knew it was 12 or 13, so it's actually 12 pounds. Use our bandsaw here. Okay, anytime you do ribs, there's a thin membrane here. You want to see if, let's see if I can get a hold to it. Might not be able to get a hold to it. There we go. See if I can get it where I can get a hold to it. My fingers are so cold. I don't want to stab myself with the point of this hook either. This old skin, you want to get this off of here. You don't want to leave this on ever. That's what makes ribs tough.
He knows his wife ain't gonna know that.
I know I need to do it now, because if I don't, it won't get done.
Asked him how many ribs I've cooked with that on there.
Yeah, there we go. I knew I'd get it here in a minute, but it's called catfish skin and pliers.
When all else fails, grab the catfish pliers.
Grab the catfish pliers. Half here?
Yes.
Is that what you want?
Yes.
Okay. Is that how we're going to put them in the bags?
Yes.
Do the same thing here?
Yes.
Let's figure we'll be right in here somewhere, right about there. Alright.
It should fit in a crock pot pretty easy.
Yeah, that'll fit in the crock pot. Let's just dress it up a little bit there. Where the backbone, now not everybody does it this way. This is what I call Danny's way. Where the backbone right here comes and it makes that curl going up toward the rear end of the pig. Right in here, there's a joint right there. I'm gonna cut this whole section off right here.
Kind of at the end of the tenderloin.
Yeah. Now, a lot of people will turn this into a roast or whatever. We're probably just going to cut it all up for grinding meat. I'm just going to sit it over out of the way right now.
And lard.
And lard and stuff like that. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to flip this over.
Take some of the lard off.
I'm fixing to start taking the fat off of it. Now, you don't want to... This pig was fed a lot of grain, so I'm trying to be really careful. I don't want to take all the fat off of the pork chops that we're going to have here. But you don't want so much fat on the pork chops that they just are just greasy either.
Ha!
Look at that. Oh. That's what you call right there. Now, this is what's called fat back. I mean, that's the actual real name for it, is fat back. I like to look and see where I'm at. Oh, I don't want to get into it too deep. And it's all right to get a little bit in it.
Just gonna cook into some cracklings.
Yep. We're gonna cut all that up in a little while. Trying to take my time.
And this is our lard for the year, so I'm excited. Every year we make lard.
Yep. Trying to take it easy. Don't want to cut too much at one time.
You got it right to the meat.
here. I'm gonna take a little bit more of this right here. I think we're okay.
Yeah, there's still plenty. This was a fat pig.
This was a big old fat pig. Let me just cut that off right there. That there. There. I think I can probably still go a little bit more right here. There. 'Cause I think I see the meat coming right there. So I don't want to leave. I don't want to take. I want a little fat left on my pork chops, you know. I'm going to trim a little bit more of it there.
That looks amazing.
See if I can't dress it up a little bit better. Where it don't look quite so rough. Let's see, I think we're pretty good.
Now we make pork chops.
Yeah, now we're gonna start making some pork chops. I mean, look at
About
this.
what size chops you're making? Thin.
First thing we want to do is you want to get the spinal cord out. That's another thing. You don't want the spinal cord left in there. You want to try to.
No, we really don't.
Try to get that out of there if you can. Last thing you want to do is bite into a pork chop and get the spinal cord in it. And I have had that happen from the store. Bought pork chop years ago. Many times.
What are these little?
That's just collagen that's in between your vertebrae.
Okay.
That's what happens when you mess a disc up in your back and you start
Leaking.
leaking. Yeah. The ruptured disc, you get them bullets that's coming out. That stuff starts leaking out of there. If I can get a hold of this, I want to kind of get a hold to the, not get into the meat, but
Get the skin off this too.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's on the inside, the whole rib cage in there. Some people don't worry about this, but I'm just a little bit pickier, I guess, than a lot of people are. I like for all my stuff to be as tender as I can possibly get it, you know. Like I said, this is just a personal preference of mine. A lot of people don't do it, but I'm just one of them kind that I just like it being done. To me, I don't know, it just makes for a more pleasurable experience when you're eating. People are ready to get it right, figure out. All right, so my hands aren't close to the blade. We adjusted this down to where it's just a little above this. It's not a big, long, tall blade sticking up there. The first cut won't be really perfectly smooth because it was cut with a knife, but after this, I think, well, let's play it around another way. Maybe you can see it a little better if we do it this way. First one there. I gotta do a little bit more adjusting right here. As you begin to get down and your meat gets to be really thin, start stacking your pork chops back up against the outside. That way your hand is not close. So slow down when you get to that center part here. It's not going to be as pretty. Now
That's so pretty.
Now we're gonna do something. These two here are kind of like end of the run. Got to wash my hands for a second. Hey guys, when you run it through the saw like that, you're gonna have this look to it right here. And what you want to do is you want to take this scraper right here. There's one that didn't know I had these.
Well, I did, but I didn't know what they were for.
You want to clean your pork chop up as much as you can.
That is some pretty pork chops now, Papa.
Yep.
That's
Look at that.
pretty.
That's beautiful, isn't it? I got the fat about right.
Yeah.
Around the outside.
And this is what they look like beforehand.
Yep, this is what they look like beforehand. And you want to come in here and you want to just scrape all that old stuff off of them. I'm going to let Ms. Wanda be doing this while I cut some more here, but I want to show her what it was. Look at the marbling.
I know, isn't that pretty?
Isn't that beautiful? That is so pretty.
Chris, you did a good job. Look how pretty. After I
nice?
scraped them. I do know these little handy dandy things are
No, they
well
cost
worth
nothing.
their money.
Yeah, they don't
well
hardly cost
worth it
nothing.
to make them look that pretty. And the Vevor saw.
It has, well, it's a lifesaver.
We've never had one before, and we bought one this year. Danny's
Yes.
first time using it, but oh my.
Look at the results. I'm talking about, look at the results. Isn't that
pretty?
That is some of the prettiest pork chops we have ever done.
Now to wrap.
All right, guys, here we are. First thing we want to do is we're going to remove what they call the jowl. Now that'll start like right back up in here. We're going to cut down through here. We're going to cut across like right across here. This is called the jowl on the pig. Now what we're going to be doing with all this, don't let the blood on it bother you, because the pig was hanging in the cooler and we washed it as much as we could, but this is all jowl. All this here, now you can cure this. You can wash it down, clean it up, get the blood off of it, or you can just sit here, you can take a knife and cut it off. But you can cure that because it's almost like bacon. I mean, this is probably cured. A lot of people will like cut it right here. I'll just go ahead and show you. Try to throw that over there. A lot of people will take this one piece of meat right here. They'll brine it and they'll cure it, and they'll use it to cut it up into like little pieces like this, and they'll use it for like smoking putting in beans or turnip greens or stuff to that nature like that. But
we're making sausage.
We're making sausage out of it, and see if you cut a little bit of blood stain off of it here like this here. I mean
it cleans up.
It cleans up really, really nice. I mean, all you gotta do is wash it. Okay. Now, what you want to do is you want to take this bone section out of here.
Part of the ribs.
Yeah, it's all part of the ribs. You want to just take this out of here. And I'm trying to. My hand's still. It is so cold, guys. The wind is blowing like 20 miles an hour outside, and it is in the 30s here. And I told Ms. Wanda, I said, every dime we spent on this building here
is worth it.
Well worth it. Because even, I mean, it's cold inside this building. Now, don't get me wrong. It's cold.
You see, I got on my insulated boots. We both got jackets on.
Yeah.
My nose is dripping.
But you want it to stay cold in here. You really do.
Yeah.
You don't want it to.
I used to have a deer processing plant, and we had to keep it cold. You couldn't warm it up in there, so you stayed cold all the time. And insulated boots were your friends.
Yes. I'm trying to. This pig was so big. I'm not used to having a pig this big to have to cut all this out of it.
Yeah, 250 is about to 300.
Yeah, 250, 300 is usually where you're at, you know, with a pig. But this one, whoo, Mr. Chris, he poured the food to this one. Ooh, isn't that pretty? Mm-hmm. Look at that. That is some pretty right there now. getting up here where that fat's at. And that fat is solidified to the point where it's hard. Plus that, believe it or not, that bone cavity's not as light as it looks like it would be.
It weighs a good bit, don't it?
Yeah, it does. Let me get around here where I can hold on to that thing. I don't want it to fall off on the floor. One vertebra there. I started saying that thing's supposed to just come right off, but that is probably, that's
6 pounds.
at least 6 pounds. Now we can cut this up. I can go to the bandsaw and we can make a cut like right here, like right across here, and I can cut right here, and we still got 2 more sections of ribs right there.
But I'd rather just put the meat in sausage.
You'd rather like cut it up for sausage, okay?
Yes.
What we'll do is come back in a little while, because there's some little meat trimmings on this, you know, around through here. We just taking,
All that just goes to sausage.
we just throw it over here in our sausage stuff. Let's get rid of this right here. Let's see if we can get this off of here, right here. This is just hawk.
All that goes to sausage.
I'm gonna take every bit of this off.
We're doing mainly bacon, sausage, and pork chops. That's our biggest, and lard.
Yeah, that whole hawk right there. Now you can cure this.
Make a good ham.
Well, I mean, you can cut it up into pieces here.
That's right, ham hocks.
Ham hocks, and you can cure that whole thing right there. And after it's cured, saw it up, and you can use it for that.
But we're not curing anything, so.
Nope, I'm trying to keep all this separated out.
And
here.
that could make some good little steaks across there.
Well, now flip this thing back over. That's still a hunk of meat,
That's still
guys.
like bacon right there.
That's
You know
a
that?
big hunk of meat right
That's
there.
like bacon.
Well, it was part of the bacon to start with. Now, this is called from here. You see here where you back strap. We call it the back strap. The loin came into this right here. You want to come just right about there, and you come down through here, and you want to cut this right across right here. Now, what that's going to do, I'm hitting bone in there, so I'm going to have to cut it here in just a second. I wanted to do that to show you what we're looking at here. This is what's called a butt or a Boston butt, and this is a picnic ham. This can be cured just like a regular ham. Now what you're cutting through right here you're actually cutting through the shoulder blade is what you're cutting through. Now I hope I got through all of it. Now this is what's called a picnic ham right here. And what I would say is I would come in here and I would probably cut
A lot of the lard off.
a lot of this fat off of it, because a lot of people, you like some fat on your picnic ham, but you don't want just a tremendous amount of it.
Okay, you said this was the...
This is what they call the Boston butt, which I don't know how you get butt out of a front shoulder, but I guess it's the butt end of the shoulder. I don't know. I think that's probably like one of the mysteries out there as to why. I never have looked it up, to be honest with you. I'm sure somebody will let me know, but I'm trying to keep an eye on how much fat I actually have right here.
A good bit can come off there.
A good bit can come off. Okay, being this is a Boston butt, we're going to cut a couple of roasts out of this. Now, we don't do real big roasts when we do them.
Go a little bit more.
Like that?
Right there, yeah.
Okay, there's a bone right there. So this is going to be a bone in. You can do them bone in or bone out. I like to leave the bone in because I like the flavor myself. You can tell if I made it through it or not. I don't want it on the table. I think I did. Yeah.
That's a nice little roast.
That's a nice roast right there. Now we'll use a scraper. Same thing on that side. We'll scrape it. And I think I'm going to go ahead and cut us a second one.
And the rest go for sausage.
Rest will just go for sausage meat there. Yeah.
Or ground.
Or ground. Probably ground pork's what we'll probably do out of it.
We do a lot of ground pork and stuff, so.
Yeah, I got past it this time. Yeah.
This
will be another. Look at that. That's really a nice roast right there.
Yeah.
Look at the marbling in that. That's going to be a good roast. Actually, I can square this one up. We just go ahead and
make 3.
We just make it 3. We'll use the end here for sausage. Let's just cut all this end off right here.
All right, so we're starting to put them in. I'm going ahead and putting some of them in bags like this that we'll use first. These are probably going to get wrapped in freezer paper, and we have a whole nother half to go.
Yes.
The Henry VIII I am.
Yeah, I'm just trying to trim it up a little bit, get a little bit of the fat off of it. It had so much fat on it, so I'm trying to trim it down just a little bit.
Yeah, we don't need that much fat on it.
No. We're not curing it.
No.
But we need the...
We're just making ham steaks.
Yeah, we're going to make some ham steaks out of this one. Okay, we're going to take some of this trimming out of here. This is the H-bone. We don't need this in here. This H-bone goes all the way back up in here. We can get cut around it right here a little bit. There's a socket right up in there. I gotta get away from that. I'll find my bone right here. Get this thing. The ham is done starting to, it ain't as cold now. See how it's done starting to pooch out there? I was hoping to get this done before then, but when you're having to film, it takes a lot longer. There's a socket right there. That's what I was looking for. That's what I was looking for. I didn't want to get into that. And there's a piece of meat here that's called an oyster right there. Lots of people cut that out when they're cutting the H-bone out, but I was trying not to.
Nothing but pure meat.
It's just, yeah, it's called an oyster. It's just pure meat. But it's on all animals, even on a chicken. It's even on a chicken pelvis. I'm trying to leave as much meat on this as I can. This right here, see that blood puddling up in that? This is why it's so hard to cure a ham if you don't have the pump system and everything to pump it with. Is because there's places in there that that blood gets and you just really can't get. Okay, now.
You leaving that in there?
Yes, I'm leaving that in there. What I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna try to straighten this up right through here. My meat is thawing out really fast. I gotta hurry.
Well, none of this goes to waste because all this is sausage.
Ooh, no, this is all sausage right here. Matter of fact, I mean, you can just take a knife and just lay it down and whack it all up. The smaller pieces you cut it in, the easier it is to actually grind it. What I've got to do is get it over to the saw. And this is why I tell people, really, when it comes to cutting up meat, it's best to put it in a cooler and chill it down, because when you're trying to do this, like what you see the little bit of aggravation I'm having here with it because it's not chilled all the way. This meat's only been hanging for 48 hours. And this ham is so big that we're going to let the other side hang longer so that so that it stays, you know, it freezes on down or chills on down a lot more.
All right, before the meat scraper, after the meat scraper. Those meat scrapers are worth their money, y'all. Just saying. That scraper makes the meat so pretty. Takes off all the yuck that you don't want. All right, now comes the daunting task of separating lard and meat.
Yeah.
The lard's gonna go here.
I'm working on the hawk right now, so.
We're not smoking anything,
No.
so, except sausage and bacon.
Yeah. That's all we're smoking. I'm just sitting here just trying to get some, what we're gonna have for ground pork. I'm just sitting here. You know,
And we like ground pork more than sausage, so we're gonna grind a lot of this up into just pork.
Yeah.
And then when we get most of this lard over in here, we'll do a lard day. And then the next half we're gonna be...
Well, let's just put it this way. Right now, between this half and the next half, it's gonna take us a while to get it all done. We're just gonna be putting it up in bags, putting it in the freezer. And then we're gonna just choose a day where we're gonna like come in here and we're just gonna say, okay, today we're just doing ground pork. And on the bags, we'll write ground pork. So when we take them out of the freezer to throw them out, we will know which ones are ground pork to grind. And then another day, we will say, okay, today we're going to do sausage. And we're going to make sausage. We'll come take it all the sausage meat out. We'll come grind it all up. We'll put patty meat in one. We got the stuffer here. We'll put the casings in it. And then we'll, one day we'll say, okay, I'll watch the weather. Because I can, we get a pretty good jump on the weather as far as what it's going to do and what day and all that. And about 7 days ahead of time, we'll take the bacon out and we'll run it through the curing process out of the freezer. And when it's cured, hopefully the weather will be right, and we'll take it out to the smokehouse and we'll actually smoke it.
So we've got bacon and some link sausage that we'll be smoking.
Yeah, we're not doing it all today. It would be overwhelming right now to do this right now. I'm hitting a leader somewhere, or a bone right there. So I'm hitting a bone somewhere because that knife stopped.
And you're leaving a lot of this fat on this because when you make ground pork or sausage, you got to have some fat in there.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll all be for. You got to have some fat. You don't want it to just be.
And then all this pretty stuff right here.
That's lard.
That's just lard.
That's your fat back. Now
that's what's going right there.
Yeah, that can go ahead. Well, it needs to be cut up.
Yeah, I know. All this is going into this one right here.
Yeah, that's just pure.
I'll cut it in chunks and we'll render it down. We'll have a day we render lard.
Oh yes, we're gonna have a day where we render the. We'll be rendering. We'll be doing 2 different pots. We'll have one for the leaf lard and one for the fatback lard, and where we can keep them separate, for cooking purposes. Guys, this ain't the funny part about it. Now, the funny part about it is we still got a whole nother pig to butcher. That's probably bigger than this one, or at least as big as this one. So, yeah, we're gonna be busy for a while.
So, guys, stick with us. We're going to end it here today. Danny clipping all this off and making some ground meat. We'll show you the ground meat in the next video. We'll show you the sausage. We'll show you whichever day we decide.
There'll be a different video for each one of them.
And we've got a whole nother half.
Plus, we got a whole nother half to go. Yes. Now, we may not show cutting up the other half.
No, but we'll show you that we did it.
Yeah, we'll show you that we done it. And we showed you on this one. See, when you're doing this right here, guys, keep your eyes open. Here's what we're looking at right here. Another one of those glands right there. You want to make sure you keep all that stuff out of your meat whenever you're cutting it up.
Things to look for
Yep.
when
Things
cutting
to
up
look
meat.
for. Be paying attention.
Thank you guys from Pecan Grove. All right, we have the ham steaks done, some of the lard cut up and done, and some of the meat for grinding for pork or for sausage. And Danny's going to be finishing up, and this will make the first half of our pig, right?
Yep.
It's going to be some good sausage.